Hi, and welcome to the A Quilting Life podcast. I'm Chelsi from Chelsi Stratton Designs.
And I'm Sherri McConnell from A Quilting Life.
And we are here today, Monday, November 13th, with a fun episode because it's our market recap episode, you guys. We have so much to share.
We have a lot to say.
But first, we are going to start with an ad from our sponsor, Cozy Earth, and we are grateful for them because they are always bringing the gift of a good night's sleep to us all. And they have everything from bed sheets to pajamas to, I love their waffle towels. And we have the pajamas and the sheets.
Right.
And I'm kind of excited to see what new holiday season colors they'll have out for the sheets. So we'll see. But if you want to get yourself some Cozy Earth products, you can use the code AQuiltingLife for 35% off your order.
Also, I was going to mention they have some skincare products now too that I just saw.
What?
Yes, because they made Oprah's favorite things again, and it's with a skincare product.
So the Oprah's favorite thing was a skincare product.
Yes,
guys,
for
I'm all about good skin.
2023. Yep. So check that out on their website too.
All right. And Mom, today you have our quilts. So do you want to talk about those for a little bit?
Yes. We've actually been talking about when we're going to decorate for Christmas, and putting these Christmas quilts out last night made me think, I think I could start making the transition from fall to Christmas, at least in some parts of the house. So on the wall is Home Sweet Home, and it's with our favorite things collection, which is available in stores now. It was, we shared some of these last Christmas, but you couldn't get the fabrics. So now you can get the fabrics, and it's just a really fun row quilt with a variety of different, stars and flowers and baskets and patchwork and houses and more patchwork and trees. And I just love, love, love this quilt. It was quilted by Miriam Bott. And then on the table is candy boxes, and it's a really fast and fun lap quilt as well. And I actually think that Vicki Willard quilted this one. And yeah, I'm going to have to check. It was either Vicki or Val, but it has an all over pattern. So I think it might have been Vicki. So those are the quilts.
Are they pre-cut friendly?
This wall quilt is a fat eighth friendly quilt. And this one on the table is perfect for a honey bun and a layer cake or charm pack. You can do all sorts of mix and match with those pre-cuts for this.
I love it. I love that. Well, thank you for sharing those.
Thank you. And I have some other things to share too. If you're watching, you might notice that our table is really full. Yes.
We have a lot of good products to share. So why don't we? Yeah. I don't know which one you're going to start with. It's exciting.
I'm going to start with the scissors.
Oh, yes.
So Moda has a new line of Teflon coated scissors, and they are amazing. We actually got to see them in person at Market. I haven't taken these out of the package yet because Chelsi's going to keep some and I'm going to keep some. But there are two different sizes of dressmaker shears, an 8-inch and a 9-inch. And I love that they have the ruler. So if you need a 2-inch cut, you've got the ruler right on this on the blade. So
try to hold it up. I know they won't be able to see it that well, but there you go.
So so the 8-inch and 9-inch dressmakers, and then there's a 4.5 and a 5.5 inch embroidery scissor, which are really nice. This is actually the one I used while I was at Market. Oh. And then there's also a hobby scissor that's 6.25 inch. So really, really excited about these. You should be able to find them at your local quilt shop. And along with the scissors, I'm going to just share at Market, Moda had this fantastic make and take station where you could make the quilty bracelets, or you could make a pin cushion. And you use this clover yo-yo maker, and it was fabulous. I actually came home and went to order one, and they were sold out on the website.
Oh, wow.
But it was so much fun making this little pin cushion. I've never had so much fun just sitting there and learning.
I'm jealous.
Yeah. And the Clover yo-yo maker, now that I know how to use it, it comes in all different sizes and you can make yo-yos for decor or, sometimes people have those on their quilts, and it was a lot of fun.
I really want the girls to come over and make one with you. And I want to make one too, because I didn't go over and make one. I should have. Moda did a really, really great job at keeping things interactive in the booth.
Yeah. So, okay, I'll do this last thing and then you can maybe talk about this.
Yes.
Okay. So we both have copies of Celebrate with Quilts by Lissa Alexander and Susan Aki. I am a little bit starstruck because I got them both to sign my copy while we were at market. And these two women are just so creative and so incredible. I was so excited about this book, and there are going to be a couple sew-alongs. There are lots of fun blocks in here and lots of fun options. And Fat Quarter Shop actually just sent me a copy as well. So now Chelsi has a copy too.
Yeah, guys, when I tell you this book is jam-packed full of really, really great quilt blocks, I mean it. Like, you are really, really getting your money's worth. There is so much in this book, and it is really well put together. I'm so excited about it.
Yeah, and so excited they did a book signing, and they did a couple of different events at market, and I was just really excited. That was the number one thing I wanted to get while we were at market.
Oh, she was very excited about it.
And this next thing that Chelsi's going to share with you, I'm just going to give like the backstory.
Yes, I'm going to hold them up.
So we were totally surprised, but a woman came to our booth from...
So cute, so nice.
Yes, so nice. From the Quilter Select company. And she said, "We want to thank you for talking about our rulers on one of your podcast episodes this year." And then I remembered, yes, I had purchased these rulers at a local quilt shop. Somebody had told me about them, and I loved them. Well, apparently you all went and checked them out when we mentioned it on the podcast, because I'll let Chelsi tell the rest of the story.
No, so because of that, she brought us each one of these rulers. It is the 6-inch by 24-inch, and these do not slide. Let me tell you, I'm very excited because I needed a new ruler and one that didn't slide. And so I already got mine out and started using it because I'm cutting kits right now.
Oh, good.
And love it. I think it's great. And the numbers go all the way around because you can use it. All of their products are ambidextrous. So left-handed, right-handed, you can use them. And that goes for their rotary cutter as well. And it's got a really, really nice weight to it. And my husband is left-handed, so he thought it was pretty nifty. I already opened mine and started using mine. Oh, good. And I really, really like it. So it's, really, really cool. It's got like a magnetic blade replacement, and it's an anti-slip, which is awesome. So far, I've already used mine, and I'm already loving it while I've been cutting up these kits. So just super, super kind people that work for their company. And we were really, really grateful that we got to meet up at Quilt Market. We weren't expecting that.
Right.
And great products, I think. So we wanted to be able to share those on the podcast with you all today.
Thank you for Quilter Select.
I'm really, really grateful.
They don't forget the left-handed people.
Yeah, don't forget the left-handed people, okay?
I'm like half left-handed. I do all sports left-handed except golf because I just learned on, but that's how your husband is too.
Yeah, it's super weird.
It's hard for us left-handers because usually when you learn something like golf, you're going to use somebody's hand-me-downs, and if they don't have left-handed clubs, then you just figure it out. So
yeah,
I do pretty much everything left-handed except I actually write right-handed, but I have horrible penmanship. I think I should be a left-handed writer.
Really?
That's probably your great grandmother. She probably just kept switching that pencil into your right hand.
Probably.
It's
There's
true,
something wrong
though.
with this kid.
Yeah. You are ambidextrous, actually.
Yeah.
My husband is, I would say my husband, he writes left-handed. He's left-handed, but yeah,
Oh.
ambidextrous in a lot of things.
Huh. Are any of your kids left-handed?
No, it's so strange. We thought maybe Finn would be, and yeah, I don't know. It's really weird.
So, well, that's cool. That's neat that they brought
for
it back.
you.
Yeah. I think I remember that's what you mentioned with it was like non-slip. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a couple listener quilts to share on this episode, and one of them is actually it's a block on a jacket. I'll pop the picture up right now. This was from Shelly, and it says, "Hi Sherri, I immediately knew that Bountiful Blooms would be my favorite fabric collection of mine when you gave us the first look at it. Not only am I sewing with it, I am wearing it to all of our local upstate New York fall festivals. I get so many compliments on my jacket. I tell them about your fabric. I love listening to you, Chelsi and Billy, when I'm in my sewing room." And yeah, as you can see, she put that's a Dresden block, correct?
Yes.
On the back of her jacket.
Yay,
In your
Billy.
Bountiful Blooms. We had talked about it earlier, but yeah, I can't take too much credit.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's
really beautiful.
when you forwarded me that email over, I was like, holy cow, that's impressive. Especially like she's literally wearing your fabric, around with this cool block. So definitely wanted to share that. That's awesome. Thank you for listening. And yeah, and then the second batch of quilts we're going to share here are from your coastal quilts. Okay, so this email says, "Hi Sherri, I was delighted to recognize the quilt on the wall in today's video. I have made 2 quilts from your Starstruck pattern for American Patchwork and Quilting, which I believe is the same as your coastal quilt. Is that correct?"
Yes.
So that's what it was named.
Right. It had a different name in the magazine, and then I renamed it.
Gotcha.
And I got the rights back. Yeah.
So she continues, "The quilts were made for my 2 granddaughters, Abby and Caroline. I used Robin Pickens' Abbey Rose fabric for the pink version, and I used her cottage blue fabric for the blue version. Thank you for a wonderful pattern that I didn't mind making twice." And she said, "Have a great time at Quilt Market." So that was sent before then, but we'll have those popped up on the screen as well. And they look really good.
I love those. They're both beautiful.
Thank you so much again for those. We got a couple more that we'll be sharing already in the next episode. But again, thank you for sending in all those quilts. So before you guys jump into your Quilt Market recap, I was going to just comment real quickly the video that perhaps a lot of you have seen already, where my mom and sister, they went up there without me, and they took a microphone that I had purchased right before, or it was more just a holder for them. It was the same microphone that we already used, but I gave them both a rundown of how to use it, how to set it up with the phone, and then I sort of crossed my fingers and said, "Good luck. We'll see what kind of footage they come back with, and I can edit it all together." And anyway, you guys did a really good job overall. So
Thank you.
great job. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I know my finger was in the way on a bunch of the videos. I didn't realize over on the left side.
It's difficult.
Yeah.
It's not that easy.
I didn't realize.
It was funny. One of the things that was cut out, it was when right at the beginning, Chelsi noticed it, and you had mentioned, "Mom, your finger."
Oh.
And so and that didn't make the final thing. But then, her finger wasn't in there, but then a couple videos after it was a little bit. And then one of the videos, or one of the segments where you handed the microphone over, I could tell you went and you saw it and you pushed her finger over. And
Yes.
then there was no more finger. But that was
such
literally
a micromanager.
that was the only thing that could even be critiqued. But yeah, the microphone worked good. I mean, everyone, that's just how it is with microphones. I mean, people have different tones of voice. So some people are louder, quieter. I had to work on that a little bit, but I mean, people really enjoyed seeing a little behind the scenes at Quilt Market, and going and interviewing all those different designers, or even if they weren't in their booths, you showed a couple of their booths that they weren't there, And I know you guys wanted to talk about, did you do all that on the last day?
Yeah.
So not everyone was available at that time?
Yeah, and we wanted to reiterate that we didn't get everyone because some designers had already left and some were in their booths, and it was the last day and market ended earlier. And so we really tried to get as many as we could. But I also want to say I was very impressed with how well the Moda designers did. I thought Billy wouldn't have to do tons of editing. Very good speakers.
Yes.
And I was very impressed with all of our Moda designers for doing such a wonderful job. It was so fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good because that last day is generally a little slower, and it gave us something to do for a while that morning. And yes, like Chelsi said, there were a few of the designers that maybe they had people in their booth when I went by to interview, and then I went back later and they weren't there. And a lot of people, well, not a lot, but several people did fly out Monday morning.
Several Moda people
Yeah.
were gone too.
Yeah, but overall, I mean, really good job, you guys. Yeah, and the viewers liked seeing sort of what it's like, and you could give a different look at different booths and everything. So that was really neat. You guys did a good job.
Oh, thank you.
And thank you for everyone for watching, because that video was sort of blew up. I was sort of surprised. I'm like,
yay.
people were really interested in seeing that. So that's good.
I actually watched it again. It's sometimes fun just to watch the people walking by while we were doing the interviews too.
I didn't even notice that.
It kind of gives you a little glimpse of what Quilt Market really is about, with people walking down the aisles and talking to different people. So
yeah.
Good deal. And okay, so with that, I think it's time to jump into the recap. I know you guys have plenty to talk about. I'll sort of get out of your way. I just want to remind you, though, we did talk a couple episodes prior about, and I was like, hey, can you make any predictions, or we talked about things that were trending. So just somewhere in the midst of your conversation, remember to tell us, or maybe you can tell me right now if there was there anything like really trending, and did any of your predictions come true?
Well, just to start off with trending, I think it really goes back to the Dresden on the jacket. There was a lot of quilted clothing. That was something that
a lot of that
really liked. People purchased older quilts, or some of them may not even have been that old, and either made them into dresses or pants or skirts. Our design director, assistant design director, Lexi, had this gorgeous scarf that had piece of fabric from every collection in the market catalog, except the Christmas ones. Yeah. And, Lisa Alexander had those pants that had the Dresden quilt. And then Abby from our marketing team had a dress made out of a patchwork quilt. And I saw some other dresses too. There really kind of is a trend toward, embellishing clothing. I feel like
embellishing is a good word.
Yeah, like a 70s vibe, only today.
Really flowy. Everything was very flowy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be the one thing that really stood out to me, is how that really has.
Yeah.
I feel like we saw a little bit of that in the past, but it really has.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Actually, as you're saying that, I was thinking of something from my childhood. I remember this was probably mid to late 90s then, I guess, because I remember being a kid, and when kids would get like holes in their jeans, then you could buy a patch.
Yeah.
And have your mom sew it back on. I remember that was a thing. And like, if a kid had a cool patch, then oh wow, that's cool. And I think you put one patch on one pair of my jeans when I was a kid, and I can't remember what it was, but I remember just being excited I had a patch on my jeans. I have not thought about that for 25 years probably.
Yeah.
Billy goes to school, look at my patch.
When you were saying they were like putting things on their pants and everything, I was like, I remember putting patches being in.
Yeah.
It's not quilting. It was just a patch you would buy.
Oh my goodness.
But anyway, that maybe that's sort of a trend that's come back, that like, not even just because you have a hole in your jeans, but people are going to patch different things on clothing.
Right.
Like that jacket, like you said.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see.
As far as like trends, there was new tools, there was like notions, there was still Christmas collections, there was still regular fabric collections. It was just, I think, really all around good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so good to be back. Really, 4 years was a long time, as we were catching up with people. Their kids had grown up like so much, like, wow, your child was in middle school and now she's in college.
Yeah.
So it was really almost kind of surreal. But yeah, do you want to start out like just like day one or?
Yeah, I am going to start out. Okay. And in true Chelsi fashion, I'm going to start out with a story because that's what I do.
Oh, wait. First, I have to mention that neither one of us got any sleep the night before.
So we were
0
exhausted.
hours.
So mom just couldn't shut her brain off. She was up all night like taking notes because we had a design meeting with our design director Sunday or whatever. And so we wanted to be really prepared. And I was up all night working on a fabric line because I couldn't sleep. So I just turned on a show. And then I have anxiety that I'll miss my flight. So I just decide, I just won't sleep, And anyways, I have to start out with our trip there because it was wild. So I'm going to preface this with I do not like flying. I have severe anxiety, like actually really, really bad. And so I'm thinking, okay, everything's going to be fine. We get on this flight and it was really rough. I will just say that.
But we had an open seat in between us. That was nice.
We did have an open seat in between us. And I don't know if Billy's already heard this story, but we are flying and we are experiencing some turbulence. And normally when you're on a flight, the pilot will get on in advance and tell you, hey, folks, we're going to experience some turbulence. Please sit in your seats, fasten your seatbelts. That did not happen. We are flying. There's a little bit of turbulence and the plane drops. Like just drops.
Like roller coaster drops.
Roller coaster drops. There are gasps. No, there were people still walking around. A woman fell. Somebody hurt themselves. So we immediately hear the flight attendants get on and they like yell, everyone needs to sit down. We're sitting in our jump seats or whatever. And then the plane does it again and it like goes down like a roller coaster. And in this moment, I'm having a true panic attack. Mom does the correct thing, doesn't touch me, doesn't say anything. It was awful.
I did look over and, she was white knuckling it, both hands super tight on her seat. And I was pretty calm. It had been 4 years since I'd flown. And I was kind of thinking, well, maybe this is what turbulence is. It's been so long since I flew.
No.
I didn't know. But I stayed really calm and she wasn't.
It wasn't normal turbulence.
Yeah.
So we get through it. It was really rough. And the pilot gets on and he's like apologizing. And we almost had to have an EMT come on the plane after the plane landed. I think they did eventually come on. A woman got hurt and someone else was having heart palpitations. It was crazy. So I'm just like, this is not how we're starting our market. I will tell you this though. Am I allowed to say this? The email we got from the flight.
Well, yeah.
They sent us an email and apologized because I am not over exaggerating how this plane dropped. And they sent us a voucher for our next flight. Yeah. So that works as cash.
Oh,
and
that's
it was
cool.
Yeah,
a good amount.
$200.
Yeah, it was a good amount of money. So I think they felt really, really bad that there was no communication from the airline pilot to us, that it just like happened.
Yeah.
But so if you have turbulent stories, share them.
That could be a lot of stories.
Oh,
I'm sure.
goodness. Probably a lot. But guys, we made it to market. We were a little stressed that we were going to get there and everyone else was going to be set up. But we put our booths together so quickly. We'll pop up a picture right now because I want everyone to see. It was so nice. I think
really turned out nicely.
Yeah, it turned out nicely. We had a lot of great props that Moda sent us. And it was great because we were able to fit all the quilts in the booth and show them all. And there were a lot of quilts with strawberry lemonade.
Yeah. And even, I took a couple pillows. I was able to take all the small projects. We each checked 2 bags and had a carry-on. So we had 6 suitcases total, and that's how the booth came together.
Yeah.
Really, we only had 1 suitcase for each of us was clothing, and the other was all booth.
Yeah. So that first day is really, if you are a shop owner, you're probably going to schoolhouses that day. Moda had a couple schoolhouses with designers, but we mainly just set up our booth and sat down. It was really fun because all the designers kind of congregated in our booth because there was a lot of space, and we just kind of sat and talked.
Yeah.
And it was really refreshing to just see everyone. And you probably saw we all got a little selfie that first day together. And it was just nice to be together and just sit and talk.
Yeah.
So that first day was really just getting prepped, but I was really impressed with how quickly we put our booth together. And even the other designers were like, whoa, you guys got this up so fast. And we were like, we were so stressed about it that we wanted to just get it ready. So
it all came back. We got in there and we were just like, oh, well, we used to do this twice a year, every year for 5 years. So we just did it, and it got together really quickly, and we really were happy with it. So
I think what I was normally mom is putting all the pins in the quilts, and I was like not going to let her do this because we had a little chair to stand on. And I really felt like it was more of a joint effort this time together, because from the last time we had a booth, I was still really new at designing, and it's been 4 years. And so I think I felt more comfortable this time as well, which was helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very nice. And then that night we always go to the Mexican restaurant in the downstairs of the Hilton with Vanessa Gertzen. And so the 3 of us, there was just the 3 of us, right?
No, the 4, Steph.
4, Stephanie.
So we need to talk about this. Basic Gray has the sweetest girl, Steph, working for them, and she was manning their booth this market, and she's awesome. She's fantastic. She's
a cousin of Vanessa's.
Yeah, she's Vanessa's cousin, so she's going to be working more closely with Basic Gray, and it was really, really great to meet her.
Yeah, and she joined us for our Mexican food dinner.
Yeah.
So
let's get going.
Yeah. One other thing that happened that night, we weren't there, but just want to mention that we saw photos and videos of Sample Spree, and it looked like old times. People just beelining it for the Moda booth. They sold out very quickly. They did have our fabric, so that was great. Lots of shops were able to get a bundle of our fabric. And yes, Sample Spree was back to normal from everything that we saw.
Can I ask you guys something? Have you guys seen Braveheart? That's what it was. Fat Quarter Shop took a video of it. It was like, charge! I mean, we heard stories from people at Quilt Market. There was some pushing and shoving, which is not okay, but it was wild. I think it had been so long.
Now, who goes to the Sample Spree?
Shop owners.
Oh, and they can go get free samples of fabric?
No, they have to pay for them.
They have to pay for it, or it'd be even crazier.
But they are pre-release. There are fabrics that aren't yet available.
Not out yet.
And that way they can get the fabrics and make samples and have them ready in their shop when the fabric does ship.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a highly sought after event, and we would have gone to watch, except we were just so tired.
Yeah.
Because you have nothing that's you don't have any fabric there right now because everything you've already shown.
Well, Strawberry Lemonade was there, and it doesn't ship until January.
That's right.
Yeah, we were kind of surprised. We had shop owners who were like, we got your bundle. And we were like, oh, we didn't even know it was going to be there.
Yeah.
And it's a very exciting thing, and everyone rushes. I mean, if you guys could see these pictures and these videos, I'm sure you've seen them online. It's crazy. It's insane. And it's gone within like minutes. The fabrics. There was one shop owner that came to our booth a couple days later, and she said that she just walked up to the booth and said, I want one of everything. Yeah. And got one of
everything. And somebody helped her.
Yeah, Moda has a ton of employees working to make sure that everything is kind of semi-organized.
Yeah.
Is that just something that Moda does, or is there other fabric companies there too?
Oh, yes. Lots of other companies are there.
It's
big
every,
and small.
every company.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The Moda table is rushed first, I would say, or else there's not going to be anything left.
But yeah, and you have to buy a ticket to go. I think it's like a $10 ticket or something. And
yeah.
it's just something they have every year. But yeah, that is always the night before market officially opens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So when we talk about day one, that would be Saturday, the first official day of market.
Yeah.
And it's usually the busiest day. And this year was no exception. We were busy from start to finish. We had people coming to talk to us and waiting. We had a
line.
a line. Actually, it was really exciting. I feel like that was our busiest day ever at any market.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that. And I just felt I knew it was that moment that I knew I was so happy to be there. Like it's still very hard for me to I had become so comfortable with not leaving my family.
Right.
And that just showed me the importance of why we were there. We were there to converse with shop owners and to hear feedback from them and hear them, it was so wonderful. And all day, not once did I get tired at all. I was so I was tired at the end of the day once we sat down.
Right.
But during it all, I was so happy and my heart was so happy meeting with these shop owners, and it had been so long that it was a wonderful experience. And there is one thing in this first question that was submitted on Mom's blog. I would say market was a bit smaller, but it was still very busy. And I think it was good.
I'm thinking maybe half the size of the last time we went.
Oh, yeah.
But
it was small.
But busier.
Yes.
So, yeah. So I feel like, maybe a lot of people didn't show up or they didn't have as big of a footprint. I know Moda's footprint was a little bit smaller than normal.
But it was still bigger than their one last year.
Right. And it was very, very busy. And that's what you want. So for everyone that was there, for them to have that much traffic is a good thing.
Yeah. Moda
makes it worth your time.
Yes.
Totally.
Yeah.
Moda did such a wonderful job with the shops. It was the shops at Moda, right?
Yes.
And they did such a beautiful job. But yeah, I think after the effect of COVID, it definitely was half the size. But it was very busy. And that first day, we not once could sit down.
Yeah.
It was really just lots of conversation and...
Yeah. In fact, we got a little lull around lunchtime and we just said, let's go eat. We ran out to get some food and came back. And one thing, we met a lot of people who listen or watch the podcast. And that was really fun. So very many shot. And I guess I kind of thought the audience wasn't as much of a shop owner audience as it was, but so many shop owners mentioned that. And we even met several people who said, I've been listening since episode 1. Yes.
And I just have to say, if you met us and talked to us at market and you're listening right now, thank you so much for coming up to us. It means so much that that all of you tune in, and I'm so grateful. I can't even have imagined not having the podcast now, and we're grateful for Billy and
lots of people wondered why you weren't there, Billy.
Oh, they all wanted to know, Billy.
So, and it was a busy day, and also there were some changes. There were new Moda reps that had come on during the pandemic. And so we got to meet some of the new Moda reps. That
Tracy,
was really nice.
Love you.
Yeah. And shop owners who had opened their stores recently during the pandemic, or maybe they were online and then they transitioned to online and brick and mortar.
Some shops were 6 months old.
Yes.
And I was rooting for them. I'm like, oh, we met the sweetest couple from Colorado. And their shop is fairly recent, right? Was theirs a couple years old, or?
I'm not sure how old theirs is, but they were from Colorado.
So the nicest people ever. I want to be best friends with them. And no, we met the best people. Guys, it makes me so excited. I wish I could take everyone with us on a big bus and go in there and everyone just like hang out together.
Yeah. And then Saturday night was our dinner with the company, and it was all of the designers and the marketing team from Moda and other executives from Moda.
And that had never happened before. Normally it's a private dinner with just the designers, and then they do the other dinner the next night separate. Did you know that?
Yeah, so there were about 90 people at that dinner, and it was really nice. We were on kind of a patio area for
like
hors
a
d'oeuvres.
balcony patio.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a cocktail hour.
And they had people bringing around the hors d'oeuvres on trays and lots of yummy
my goodness
things.
Did you have the lobster corn dog?
No.
Guys, when they said there was rumor of a little lobster corn dog going around.
I didn't have that one.
And I was like, what is this madness? And I have it, and I'm thinking this is either going to be awful or it is going to be fantastic. And it was fantastic. I almost grabbed one and brought it to you.
Oh, you should have.
Because we were hanging out in different groups.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, everything I had was really good, though. I feel like the little tacos with the shrimp.
Oh, yes.
Those
the tacos were good.
Yeah.
Everything was good, though.
Everything was good. Yeah. And then inside we had tables of 8 and a catered menu. So we had, a salad and salmon and steak and dessert and family style sides. But we ended up at a table with the marketing team. It was really, and the head of IT.
Okay.
So
let me just tell you guys, we always end up at the best table. Our table was so obnoxiously laughing loudly. It was so fun. And the marketing team at Moda is just like, I could cry. They are so incredible in everything they do and all the behind the scenes. They do such a great job. And these are seasoned veterans like Lissa Alexander, and then there are younger marketing designers, and they're all just such a cohesive group. Yeah. And then we have John, the IT guy, who's been with Moda since forever. And he is just...
We heard lots of fun stories.
Yeah, we heard lots of fun stories, and he is the sweetest, kindest Southern man. Let me just tell you, just the kindest.
But yeah, and then I guess move on to day 2, which was Sunday.
Okay, so day 2 was really steady. So at this point, I think day 1, everyone rushed Moda and was kind of talking to Moda. And then day 2, I just felt like we were really steady.
Yes.
Steady conversation. There was never a lull. Well, like during lunchtime, we finally were like, let's go to lunch. And we went and had a nice lunch. And there was no dinner.
Well, Vanessa and I organized a dinner.
Oh, yes.
It was 11 designers and Anna from marketing.
Yes, and Anna from marketing.
So the 12 of us had a fun dinner.
It was really, really nice that my mom and Vanessa got together for this, because the designers were also busy in our booths, and this gave us kind of a chance to just sit and talk. And I also was really happy because we had the new Moda's newest designer, Heather Briggs, and from My So Quilting Life. And it's great to be able to get everyone together, and there's no exclusions, and it was just a nice, fun dinner. And we all, like Mom said, we talked about our families and business, and it was great. We were there a long time. I think we had a huge party, so our food took forever.
Yeah.
But
that was good. We got lots of conversation. And that really was one of the best things about Market for me, was to be able to have those business conversations with our fellow designers and realize that, yes, we have colleagues. We haven't seen them for 4 years, but we have people going through the same things in their business that we're going through, and we can talk to them and we can share ideas and share tips. And there were, when you work from home, there is a great tendency to work too many hours.
Yeah.
And it was interesting how I got so many different takeaways from different designers on that, and about being more firm with scheduling your work hours. And I just came home ready to, set these work hour limits on myself. Yeah. And just really good to hear everybody's take on everything. And it was just, that dinner was really, really wonderful for that. Just lots of ideas.
It's nice to kind of normalize that, like, we're still human. It was just great. It was great for us all to be together again, and we could balance talking about the business and just as people, which was really, really nice for me. And you do. Camille said it best. She did say, she's like, guys, I have been at home for the past 4 years, just in my own little sewing room and my own little world. And it's so nice to be back and be with each other.
Yeah. And we also, on Sunday, we had a meeting with our design director and her team, and that was really well. So we've got some things mapped out for the future, which sent us home with lots of ideas.
Which I'm finalizing right now. I'm very, very excited about it. But so we met with the whole design team. And what's great about that is we only were able to meet Lexi once. At the last market. And she only was there for one day to just meet everyone. Right. Well, since then, Megan has come on, and it was so lovely to meet her because we've just had emailing. Right. And I hadn't met Megan in real life. Right. And so it was really, really nice I can tell you this, it is so much better to meet when you're talking design in person.
Yeah. The ideas just go back and forth really quickly.
It's instant. Yeah. It's instant. Like, oh, I like this. Okay, let's move on with this. Let's go forward with this. And just bouncing ideas back.
Yeah, and just the synergy. Someone we would mention something and then we'd get feedback, and then that would make us have more feedback. And it was really fun. Yeah. Really fun to have a design meeting in person.
It helped give me some more clarity so that when I went back to, the drawing board. Right. It was just so nice.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Monday, as we mentioned earlier, we did a lot of filming, and we had our booth down in 5 minutes after market closed. We are very good at taking our booth down quickly.
We were like, we're probably going to get in trouble, but we needed to make our flight.
Yeah, we had to leave. Within 30 minutes of market closing, we had to be in our lift headed to the airport.
So we said our goodbyes before. Yeah. And then we got everything packed up and we bounced. So, but overall, market was wonderful, and it was everything we needed and more. And even though it was smaller, it was still busy. There were people there, and the quilting world is alive. It is full of great ideas. It is full of wonderful people. And
so the future is still bright.
The future is still bright. Yes. And I think I needed it. I think just after the past 4 years and after this year especially, I needed to be at market. And it was so good for my soul just to be there and be with my people. And
they did announce that while there won't be a spring market in 2024.
Crazy news, you guys.
Yeah, they did announce that there will be a spring market in 2025.
Oh. Yes. Do you know where it's at?
They didn't announce.
Right. They said we will give you plenty of notice to make your plans, but we're not going to announce the location yet.
That shocked me.
So that was fun to hear. Fun to hear.
So fun to hear.
Because since 2020, it's only been once a year.
Well, they canceled everything in 2020.
For 2 years.
Yeah.
They canceled 2021, everything. And then 2022
was just Houston. And this year was just Houston.
But we were told it was still much bigger this year than even last year.
Right. Yeah. So are there any questions that we missed, Billy?
There was one that I wanted to ask. So we know market Monday, it's all done, and then the next day, I lost it here. What is it called the next day that starts for the general public?
Oh, that's not until...
Oh, there's a short break while they regroup, but then Quilt Festival started 3 days later.
Oh, okay, Quilt Festival. So now I know you didn't go, and I know most of the... But can you just explain what that is for other... Because that's open to the general public,
That's
correct?
For the general public. And a lot of the vendors that are there in a wholesale capacity at Quilt Market are there in a retail capacity for festival. And so the public can come in and they can buy things and they can... So a lot of people stay for both.
Okay.
And
so it's more the vendors will be there for market, for wholesale, and then retail. Do any other shop owners stay for that too, or are they mostly there for market because they're going to buy stuff wholesale anyway?
Right. I feel like the shop owners go home back to their shops after market.
Do many designers stay for festival, or
They used to.
Yeah, this year I noticed that Jen Kingwell stayed.
Oh, she did?
She's one of our designers from Australia, and she was at market and festival.
Oh, wow.
Lisa Bonjean didn't stay for festival.
Deb Strain didn't stay.
No, some of them that have in the past stayed did not.
I mean, back in the day, you stayed, and it was like you stayed the whole time.
Yeah. But I saw some videos and things online from festival, and it looked like festival was really good as well. So. And the quilts exhibits are available during both events. So
yeah, it's good. It gives them more time to be viewed, and
awesome. And and you guys mentioned some of the trends and how the industry's doing. Let me see here. I think you guys covered a lot of the other like questions that came in as well.
Yeah, I think the industry is doing great, wonderful.
Yeah,
reaching out to younger people. I feel like a lot of the shop owners that we met were younger, and a lot of mother-daughter groups in the shop owners. A lot of mother-daughter shop owners.
Yeah, I loved that. It was just all around good. There is one question here. It says, Mom, Sherri, will you have a pattern for your Quilting Life banner? Would love to make it for my sewing room as well. Can you just talk a little bit more about the banner?
Oh, yeah. So I did share that on a video, right?
Oh, you did. Okay.
But I haven't shared
it was on the same video.
Oh, well, never mind.
The Quilt Market video at the beginning. Yeah, no, that's good. But I used just for anyone that didn't see that, I used the Primitive Gatherings pattern for the letters. And then I used the letters to Santa quilt along from Moda from last year. That is a whole free quilt along. And they had some extra little block patterns in there. I used some of those. And then I made a couple of hexagon flowers. But then I did save the math for all my sashing, so I could share it. Maybe I'll have to do that on a blog post. Yeah. Share that math because
the sashing, that's just what you're putting in between each letter or each word?
Well, just mostly on the side to make it all fit into a rectangle.
So someone could put use different letters to make something and possibly use that same math?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I can share that. So,
I had such a great time, and especially with Mom. I think it was good for us to even just travel together again.
Yeah.
And it was so fun because we got back to, we didn't agree on the name for this next fabric collection. This is my favorite memory of Market. We get to the hotel, and Mom is like, what about this? What about this? What about this? And I was like, no. And then when we had our design meeting, the one that Mom wanted, they loved. They were like, oh, that's like what it should be named. And Mom kind of like smiled at me, and I was like, you win. Like,
well, and that's the night that I couldn't sleep before Market. That was the one I wanted. And I wanted, I had all these ideas. My brain wouldn't stop.
She was up all night.
Yeah. And so then when they said that, I was like, okay, it was worth it that I got no sleep because
And she really did. Mom took all these notes, and I was like, wow, Mom, it was just fun. It was fun to be together, and just, Market was good.
And then next year I'm planning on going next year as well.
Yeah. That'll be awesome.
I love it.
I'll get to see it all for myself.
I'm actually really excited about that. Okay, so thank you for joining us today with our silly stories and our Quilt Market recap. We can't wait to hear your feedback, and just thank you for watching the video that we did film at Quilt Market. And our next podcast episode is going to air Monday, November 27th.
So everyone have a good Thanksgiving.
Yes, that will be after Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. So happy Thanksgiving. And thanks so much for stopping by.